Hey, everybody. Michelle is in the building on this Sunday evening. I know it's late for most of you on the East Coast. Some of you probably got y'all asses in the bed because y'all have to get ready for work in the morning. And I understand that. I just wanted to share something real quick while I'm thinking about it. As I said, as we're approaching the dawning of the age of Aquarius, February 3rd, 2029, there's going to be a lot of revelations in between that. Where a lot of people are going to be despondent instead of joyful about certain cosmic events that illustrates, something bigger than something that we have never imagined in our lives. And a lot of people are going to be despondent because they're going to realize that, certain things that they held true and believed all through their life may have been an illusion. It may have been just fantasy created to keep you subjugated, to keep you submissive, and to keep you subservient, to either a group, a cult, or, whatever type of relationship that is, even a marriage, okay, that you may have been wasted a whole lot of your time. When I say time, it wastes a lot of your life, 10, 15, 20 years, maybe 30 years, in some type of non-existent reality about what's true and what's real and what's reality and what's this or that or the other. I know with me, when I was doing my research, investigation, doing my thing to figure out who I am, what I am, why I am, I was not necessarily despondent. To be honest with you, I was joyful because I knew deep down inside there was too many contradictions for some certain things that we've held dear to our chest and to our hearts, literally, figuratively, metaphorically, that something just didn't add up for me. So I appreciate the fact that I just kept digging and digging and digging and digging. So it made it quite enthusiastic, joyful. I was so curious, and so it made it almost, worth it to shed all of that stuff out of my brain about, the role of what women are supposed to do and the role of what men are supposed to do and what you're supposed to believe and what you're supposed to not to believe and what factors that are supposed to happen in your life and factors that you don't. This kind of rigid, it was so rigid, and it was just illogical. And for a person that's, kind of process things coming into me visually, it can drive you in pure insanity, especially when stuff is coming out of somebody's mouth. They're saying this, their eyes are saying something else, their movements and their facial expressions, it just wasn't aligning up for me. So it was all worth it to me. I will do it again without thought, to know who I am, why I am, and what I am, and what the truth is. Okay, it's the truth that matters. Okay, it's not. And now I'm gonna go into this real quick. I know a lot of people say, I don't care about what people think about me or something to that effect. And I keep picking up contradictions with that. And I just want to share real quick about what I'm sensing and receiving about that. In my reality, I care about what people think of me. I care about that. Now, does that have any effect necessarily on me and my decisions? Not necessarily, but I do care about what people think about me. Okay, and I do care about that because I want to make sure that I am providing whatever I'm putting out it comes back in genuine fashion, like the boomerang. And a lot of people want that. They want to have people, they want to give and receive. They want that to be part of the process, to give and receive. Nobody wants to be doing necessarily things that is not appreciated. Okay, So that's why I say self-sacrifice is not self-love. Okay. In other words, you don't want to be, uh, you know, uh, uh, believing that you are helping people when in turn you may be harming them. So that's why I care about what people say, what people think about me, and I care about how I am affecting them. Whether it's negative or positive. So that's why a lot of people like feedback, and they like to have some type of, you know, validation. I like validation, you know, because that's part of knowing. Okay, knowing how to make sure I'm staying, grounded in my reality and that I'm not projecting on somebody. Okay. And being unconscious and being inconsiderate, being inconsiderate of others. That I do not want to do. Being inconsiderate and not considering other people's existence. Everyone can have their opinions, thoughts and opinions. I told you that. And, have their theories and they can be conspiratory or not. Let's see if this motorcyclist is gonna get on up and get on out. How about that? He'll be back later tonight because they live in the neighborhood. So, yes, I care what people think about me. I mean, more so physically, in my physical presence. Let's make that clear. I can't control how people feel about me on social media, though. I can't control that, and nor will I. Okay, so maybe that's what we need to make. Like I said, make sure we are clear and effective on what we're saying to each other. To say that you don't care what people think about you. Just consider that and make sure you're thinking logical and rational about that. And is that true? Is that really true? I don't know. It just sounds like a contradiction. Like I said, what I cannot do is control what people feel about or say about me on the social media platform. Okay, that's next to impossible, because people are going to find a reason to go after you. Okay, whether it's how you look, whether it's the size of your nose, your lips, or your eye, it's going to be something that they're going to go after. The way you talk, where you enunciate, if you're misspelling words on your post, or if you're doing this or that and the other, people will judge you that way, discern you that way, and start projecting on you that way. So I just want to say that yes, a lot of you are going to be despondent. I sense and receive it when you realize that you may have been living an illusion of beliefs in your beliefs. Your beliefs were illusions, and certain things that you may be finding out probably never ever existed and never ever were true. But we all have been indoctrinated in some form or fashion. Okay, but I also sense there's a group of people based on their consciousness that were suspicious of that anyway, but they had to work that out on their own, and everybody does. Where they come to where things make sense. Okay, how is this making sense? When you go certain places and people say certain things to you, and then you attempt to take it in, and it's just not fitting nowhere inside your being, because it doesn't make sense. You can't properly process it, because it just doesn't make sense. Like I said, anytime you're making decisions, anytime you're contemplating, cultivating, meditating, but not ruminating, you have to bring in your sensings, like what do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel, and you have to bring all that in there. And it has to make sense. It has to be logical, it has to be rational, reasonable, and reproducible. So sometimes you hear people saying these things, and that's why and I think a lot of people are realizing too that they wasted their time on being too extremely literal about things, and not realizing you need to be literal. You need to take in things literally, figuratively, metaphorically. Okay, and that's a spiritual process, by the way. That's a spiritual process of how you are to process things. You need to see everything and every decision you make in that kind of realm of thought and contemplation. Whatever you're doing, whether you're praying, but I prefer you to do a no thought meditation, meaning that you're not necessarily engaging in your thoughts. You're just kind of sitting there and allowing your thoughts to kind of float through you. Okay. And if you happen to get engaged, you just gently and kindly bring yourself back. And I say do that with your breathing. Your breathing will bring you back, honey. And then you'll get to a habit of your decisions in your life, just like breathing. You know, you don't have to think about breathing. Your breathing works on its own. So, you know, as I'm closing, now I'm going to be up for a while reading. I'm really enjoying my reading. So I'm going to be up for a while doing some reading. And I just want to come on through. I know the lighting may be all off. My hue is off. So you can't tell what my skin color is, right? Okay. So anyway, yes, a lot of you are going to be despondent. I sense and receive that already. And all I say is be kind and gentle to yourself so that you don't seek retaliation and revenge. Okay, that's where things can get really, really messy, as people say. And then you may want to start blaming people, and I'm telling you not to do that. Just be kind and gentle with yourself, and realize we all have been indoctrinated. We all have been lied to. We all have been used. A lot of us have lost money. You know, hard-earned money. Okay, by giving it away to people who are supposed to take you there. And where is there? That can be anywhere. Okay, but most of the time they're taking you in circles. And whereas you're not going nowhere. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead and allow you on the East Coast to, you know, do your thing, get yourself ready for your nightcap. Like I say, I'm going to be up for a while, you know, catching up on things. So I'm going to go ahead and send peace and love all over the stars, the moon and mountains. And trust me, I'll be back.